At this year's Macaleese Defense Programs Conference, Russia's invasion of Ukraine was, of course, front and center, a big topic. It's something I discussed with senior defense officials throughout the day, including the Air Force's Secretary Frank Kendall, who stressed his supporting role.
This is a huge tragedy. It's terrible to watch it unfold. President Putin made a horrible miscalculation, but an awful lot of people are paying the price for that. My role as Secretary of the Air Force is to organize, train, and equip our air and space forces. And we provide those forces to the combatant commanders who are directly involved in doing the things we need to do to shore up NATO, to ensure that NATO is secure, and to do what we can to help the people, the refugees in particular, and others. And in some cases to provide some support to Ukraine.
Support including collection of the intelligence data that is ultimately being supplied to Ukraine forces. It's something I actually discussed with General Mark Kelly, who is commander of the Air Force's Air Combat Command as well. But while the Russia threat may be immediate, the longer-term, bigger concern, or pacing threat, as many officials call it, remains China. This was a key theme at the conference, and it's something that Secretary Kendall discussed at length since, as he's told me before, he felt compelled to go back into government service, specifically because of China's growing might.
They have been modernizing, China in particular, and we have to respond to that. The force that we have today, the Air Force in particular, is composed of 30-year average age aircraft, and we need to get beyond that and get to the next generation. We also need to take advantage of technology. It's changing fairly rapidly in a number of areas, including commercial areas. And we need to integrate that into our weapons and think about how to exploit those technologies more effectively than our adversaries. So it's my highest priority.
Is this a situation where we need to maintain the lead, or are there things that keep you up at night when you think about some of these investment priorities? I've
seen the way they're investing, and it's quite clear that what they're acquiring are what they think are the means to attack our greatest vulnerabilities, the high-value assets we depend upon, and to keep us out of the region. They're trying to acquire the capability to deter us from intervening if they do something in the region, such as try to seize Taiwan, and if we do intervene, to defeat us. That's the threat that we face.
Looking to China and asking that question about how real is the risk that you could see an invasion, at least currently, of Taiwan. How do you see it?
That's very difficult to predict. You get different ideas from different people. It depends upon how they assess the risk and how that risk is changing over time. I don't think we should feel totally comfortable today, and I think the situation gets worse as time goes by unless we do the things that we need to do to respond.
So as we have this conversation, what are the type of technologies that you are looking to field, and how quickly can you do that?
Yeah, I'm working on a list of 7 what I call operational imperatives. It starts with getting our space order of battle right. Space is critical to our ability to project power. And China and others have been acquiring the capability to attack our assets in space. And they're also acquiring their own capabilities in space to threaten our forces, our joint forces on the surface of the Earth. So we have to deal with that. We have to get to a way in which we can take greater advantage of modern technologies for data fusion and automation and decision making, so we have superior decision making. We have to strengthen the resilience of our forward bases that we depend upon. There are only a handful of air bases in the region that are well known and targetable, so we have to strengthen those and find a way to make that problem harder for our adversaries. We have to acquire means to acquire their targets, the targets they present to us, more effectively. And we have to look at everything we count upon to go to war, all the things that we rely upon to mobilize our force, to move it, things like our personnel systems and so on. So everything that we would use to go to war is potentially going to be attacked, particularly by cyber means and also by other means.